podcast with our host, Tom Quigley of ClaimLinx. Tom, what's up? How are you? You said you're cold now. It's starting to cool down.
Yeah, we're 80 degrees summer, October, and Maine has dramatically changed.
I know. Ohio has too, and I know I'm getting ready to get the boots on, and the snow will be coming before I know it. Can you believe we're only X amount of days to Halloween? All right, so today's topic, healthcare inflation, looking into 2026, outpaces everything. Can small businesses survive the cost curve? And we've talked about the increase of healthcare pricing, but we know things are going to even change further based on what's happening with the government and everything. We keep hearing that healthcare inflation outpaces wages, Tom. What's driving this relentless rise in costs?
Greed. They're all stock companies trying to get in the insurance, and you got the government dabbling with laws. Of course, it's not a good situation, but you have to understand, you get this year more than every year, really, in small businesses. If you want to provide benefits, you have to change your philosophy and your thoughts, because the way you're doing it makes absolutely zero sense with all the tax laws that are available. And every tax law has tax breaks. So you got to understand the game. And the CEOs, the presidents, the CFOs need to get involved, because if they don't, you're going to have a lot of unhappy employees who are going to pay more and get less. And it's just going to change. You got to change your whole dynamic, how you're buying this stuff. It makes it no sense. They 10, 20, 30% rate increases. Like you're lucky if you get a 10% rate increase. It's a joke. And it's all about corporate greed. You got all these people with their hands in the cookie jar. It's the way it is.
And they're not caring about the individual. And they're looking at the keep up with inflation by increasing costs just for the bottom line for their stockholders. And it really becomes a bad situation. So how are small businesses feeling the squeeze differently than large corporations when it comes to escalating premiums and deductibles?
Frankly, they both. I find larger companies getting ripped off worse than smaller companies. So smaller companies, you're dealing with a lot more owners than you are the larger ones. The problem with larger companies is they take forever to change things. But it just, if you have to equate the insurance costs with the sale, right? So if I come into a company and I say them $1 million and they're at a 10% profit margin, I just, in essence, made them a $10 million sale. How many $10 million sales do you have in a year? I have no idea. Each company's going to look in the mirror and that inside. Then they have what's called an EBITDA factor, say, value factor, say it's 7. Let us increase the value of your company by $7 million if you sold it. How many sales does that equate to? That's what you got to look at it. And they don't look at it that way. They look at it as an HR decision. It's not an HR decision. It's a corporate profitability decision. And if you don't look like that, you probably shouldn't be in business.
100%. What role did pharmaceutical prices, hospital mergers, and administrative overhead play in pushing costs higher?
Let's look at it. Back in the early 2000s, to have a kid, it was under $5,000 because you had options not to take maternity. I was showing people, why would you buy maternity for something that might happen? Makes no sense on the health insurance. Now maternity, I think it's over $20,000. It's absolutely insane.
And that's the thing. And you look at those prices and you're like, where does that go? Yeah, where does that money go?
These hospitals, they have these administrators who all they are, they're calling out as they're crooked. They're making all kinds of money. Doctors have lost total control of running hospitals. It's all about the administrative, and it's all about dollars and cents to them. They're greedy, and that's the problem you got. And you got the same problem everywhere. Yeah. You're running with thieves. All these people are thieves, from the insurance companies to the agents to the PBMs to the hospitals and they're all thieves, and they're all taking advantage of. And then you got the departments of insurance. They're as crooked as anything. They're getting premium tax, so they don't do things to the insurance companies because they're making, the more you pay, the more the Department of Insurance, the insurance agents, everyone makes. And they think that they're going to get a solution from these people. That's the funniest part. I work at one of these save companies, and it's hilarious.
Can you explain how alternative funding models like ClaimLinx's simple option solution help companies stay ahead of these rising costs?
we're taking advantage of all the games that they play. The joint manufacturers give rebates. The insurance companies have high deductible health plans. Hospitals give grants out to cover high deductibles. Disease grants are available. And there's all these programs that are available. We take advantage of it all. And on top of it, there's a 1954 tax law that allows you to self-fund any portion of insurance, not what the insurance brokers call self-funding. It's taking advantage of dollars and cents. You save 20% off what you're paying on health insurance and do the math, you save more than the actual risk from the same insurance carrier. You just have to understand the game. And the problem is you have the wrong people. The office managers and the HR directors should not be involved in the decision-making of health insurance, period.
No, they shouldn't.
And they are. And that's why you got all these, they're caught up about how great our broker is. And I always say, first of all, I don't care. Second of all, what do they do? It's so great.
That would be a great share screen podcast here, because this is the other thing that I'm finding out as becoming this digital nomad and learning a digital genius. Looking at shared screen does really well on YouTube, a long form one. So we should do a comparison model of looking at the two models and what it looks like in a podcast, and you'll just share screen. So we'll talk about that. I have an idea on that one, but that's a little bit more planning.
But the bottom line here is people are giving away thousands they don't have to, and taking money from the employees to do it.
Now, taking candy from a baby, Tom. That's it. All right. Can you explain alternative funding? You talked about it. So let's, diving deeper, it makes sense. You are holistic. And that's what I wanted to add to the point.
Yeah.
You create a holistic point of view and looking at the big picture and that means you guys put more time in than that broker just sells the deal. He just walks away and goes.
I say to people, we do more work on the first day than they did at the last 3 years. All they're doing is they just get a check and you call them, they'll call this 800 number. That's what they call you back within 3 days. Oh, God, you call, man. Hey, you want to go to the Celtics game tonight?
What practical steps can business owners take now to manage inflation in their healthcare budgets without cutting benefits?
You have to change how you're purchasing the catastrophic coverage. And then you do the math and you take the savings and you put it into your benefit plan.
And then you have the tax solution as well, Tom, with our good friend. Yep. And that's the thing. You have the holistic way for business to be very successful, increase their bottom line and not cut the employee's bottom line. Exactly. They want great benefits, and you figure it out I consider you a mad scientist when it comes to healthcare. And you should that's what you should dress up for in Halloween, a mad scientist.
Well, a little off. It's good. According to.
All right. So the best place people can go is to schedule a call with Tom Days. Go to ClaimLinx.com. I appreciate it, Tom. Thanks again. And that was a special simulcast Neil Haley Show on the Cutting Edge Benefits Podcast, guys. Take care.